Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone and good morning all of you. This is Ashima and in this session we'll be talking about everyday news events and current affairs. The discussion is going to involve all the major news events from the past day which are important for all the examination, and the discussion is going to be in a more theoretical form so that you can form your notes and get all the updates. For all those who want to practice the questions, for them we have everyday live free quiz that happens on Entry app for current affairs. So you can download the app from link which is provided below and you can gain the benefits of that. Now, starting with the discussion, the first news event is related to Tribal Ministry, which has partnered with NCERT recently. So, what does it involve and what are the objectives? First of all, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, which is currently under Arjun Munda ji. Currently, Arjun Munda has the ministry. They have joined hands with NCERT, and that is to fulfill the objective of ministry to attain academic excellence in Eklavya Model Residential Schools. Now, both the entities are going to gain excellence among 120 Eklavya Model Residential Schools teachers and principals of three major states which have been identified. Right? So, three states are going to be there on which this is going to be functional. And 40 days of Nishtha program which has been completed in these states. Over there, these 120 EMRs, teachers and principals are going to be gaining excellence. Now, Nishtha is a national initiative for school teachers, heads and teachers holistic advanced program, which was the largest teacher training program in the world, which was conducted by India recently. Now, which are the three states we are talking about? These three states are Himachal, MP, and Chhattisgarh, where the first batch of 120 Eklavya Model Residential Schools teachers and principals were selected and trained on 18 holistic and comprehensive modules, which include art integrated learning and learner centered pedagogy, gender equality, COVID response, POXO and pedagogy of science, maths, language. So there have been various training programs that were run in these three states on about 120 teachers and principals related to Eklavya Model Residential School. Next, we have is two schemes which were launched in Bihar recently, and these schemes were for supporting youth and women of the state. The names of the scheme being Mukhyamantri Yuva Udyami Yojana and Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyami Yojana. These are the two schemes which have been launched by Nitish Kumar, the current chief minister. What are these schemes related to? First of all, Mukhyamantri Yuva Udyami Yojana. That is for all the unemployed youth of the state. That is to provide more and more employment opportunities, skill development, and respectively all the other areas where the development can take place. So they're going to be given 10 lakh rupees support to commence the enterprise or industry or their own small business if they want to. Out of 10 lakh rupees, 5 lakhs will be the subsidy amount and remaining 5 lakh will be in form of a loan, and it will have a simple interest of 1% that can also be returned in installments. So not a compound interest but a simple interest of 1% on 5 lakh rupees, whereas the rest of 5 lakhs are going to be in the form of subsidy for setting up their business. Then the next scheme is Mukhyamantri Udyami Yojana, which is for unemployed women of the state. In this also 10 lakh support is going to be given for setting up their own business or setting up their own industry. And this 5 lakh will be in form of subsidy to the women, which they do not have to return at all. And the remaining 5 lakh will be an interest-free loan. So the difference between both the schemes being Yuva Udyami Yojana will have simple interest of 1%, whereas Mukhyamantri Udyami Yojana for women will have interest of 5 which will have zero interest on this 5 lakh rupees of loan amount. Then we have M Yoga. The next we have is M Yoga app. Now this app was launched by India in collaboration with World Health Organization and Ministry of Ayush, and the major objective for launching this app was due to International Yoga Day, which was on 21st of June. For its celebration and making yoga available, training videos available worldwide in different languages for all the people across the world, this app has been launched. and it mentions about the importance of yoga specifically during the pandemic, how it is helping maintain the health, the fitness, the immunity, and all the respective health related things, right? So the launch, now the videos will be based on common yoga protocol. All the videos were based on common yoga protocol, and app comprised of yoga training videos in different languages and all around the world. Now, who is the Director General of WHO? That is going to be Tedros Adhanom. And if we talk about Ministry of Ayush, currently is being handled by Kiran Rijiju. Food and Agriculture Organization related news event, that is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, has recently organized a conference. Recently, a conference was organized for Food and Agriculture by Food and Agriculture Organization, which was attended by Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, that is Narendra Singh Tomar. And the conference was held as the major governing body of UN's Food and Agriculture Organization. It is held once in every 2 years. The biennial event or biennial conference that is organized, in which FAO members adopted the Strategic Framework 2022 to 31. This framework was adopted by all the FAO members recently, which supports sustainable development via agriculture food systems for a better production, better nutrition, better environment, and better life. Indian side firstly congratulated FAO for 75 years. Last year we had also released a commemorative coin for that respect, and also thanked India. India also thanked FAO for contributing to the support of India for a proposal that 2023 should be celebrated as the International Year of Millets. So this was proposed by India, and FAO supported that, and that has been announced now. Various initiatives taken by Government of India like Kisan Rail, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, they were all discussed in the conference about how the measures have been taken for upgrading towards this strategic frame. PMC Bank via Small Finance Bank. So Reserve Bank of India has given in principle approval to Centrum Financial Services Limited to form a small finance bank which will take over the Beleguered Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank or PMC. Now, with this approval, Jaspal Bindra, who is the leader of Centrum Capital, and Bharat Pay, they are both going to infuse 1800 crores. 1800 crores are going to be infused by Bharat Pay and Centrum Financial Services Limited. They both are going to contribute or infuse this amount into Small Finance Bank, and both are going to hold 50% of share in the Small Finance Bank. For commencing of this, it's going to take approximately 120 days, and the approval was given recently due to the offer that was made by Centrum through expression of interest to take over PMC Bank. In the first year, 900 crore is going to be infused in the first year. For the first year, 900 crores, and during the second year, 900 crores worth of equity is going to take place. US India Hydrogen Task Force was launched recently in the Strategic Clean Energy Partnership, in which US India Hydrogen Task Force was launched by US Department of Energy and Union Ministry of New and Renewable Energy and USSPF. A few one-liners: India and Bhutan have entered into an MOU for development of cooperation in the areas of environment. European Space Agency will be launching world's first wooden satellite, which will be launched from New Zealand and from a Rocket Lab Electron. So that is how it is going to be launched, and the launch place is going to be New Zealand for this. The design has been done by Finland in this. Then we have Familial Forestry, which is the name of a Rajasthan based environmental organization which won the Land for Life Award by United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. Awards were based on the theme Healthy Land, Healthy Lives. Healthy Land, Healthy Lives was the theme for this year awards. L&T was awarded Global Innovation Partner. L&T was awarded Global Innovation Partner of the Year. and this was awarded by Snowflake. E-Pathshala and E-Mulyankan, both the platforms were launched by Odisha State School Educational Authority recently, where E-Pathshala is a web-based study platform and E-Mulyankan is a digital bank to conduct a practice test for all the exams that are need to be conducted. IIM Nagpur signed an MOU with Central Institute of Road Transport (CIRT) to develop industry-oriented knowledge for transport management sector. Ashish Chandorkar has been appointed as counselor to India's permanent mission in the Worldwide Organization, so Worldwide Trade Organization (WTO), for a duration of 3 years. So, for WTO, permanent member has been appointed by India recently. Antonio Guterres was re-elected as the Secretary of United Nations for the second 5-year tenure, which will be starting from 2022, 1st of January, and it is going to last till 31st of December 2026. 21st of June is observed as International Day of Yoga with the theme Yoga for Well-being for 2021. An International Day of Celebration of Solstice was also on 21st of June. So both these days were observed recently. Then we have world's third largest diamond of 1098 carats was discovered in Botswana by Debswana Diamond Company recently. So world's largest diamond is now in Botswana. Acme Solar Holdings Limited signed an agreement with UN Office on Project Service Sustainable Infrastructure Investment in Infrastructure and Innovation, and Denmark's state-owned fund of IFU to develop a 250 megawatt solar power plant in the state of Rajasthan. And Acme is going to hold an equity stake of 51%, and IFU is going to hold a stake of 39%, and UNOPS is going to hold a stake of 10% in this. Kevin O'Brien is an Ireland cricket player and has announced the retirement from one-day international ODI cricket format recently. And with this, we'll be winding up the segment for the day. We'll see you in the next video with more news events. Till then, goodbye, take care, and have a great day ahead.